Good morning, millennials.
Ooh, very low. You brought that in like in a bass.
Good morning, millennials.
Oh my God. Oh my God, but your voice sounds a lot better, by the way.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Did you do anything?
No, I'm trying to get better, but I haven't taken anything or really cared for myself. I had a tea by the end of the night, and I've been going to sleep so late.
Me too.
But by the end of the night now, like, I'm all talked out for the day, and I have no voice, and then I sleep, and I worry that I won't be able to do my job.
No, and it's like the only thing you can really do to help that is like to stop talking, but that's fucking impossible.
No, but for me, like, I welcome the chance to stop talking.
I mean, I was alone all day yesterday, and I was talking the whole time. How? Like, I'm on the phone, I'm on FaceTime, I talk to myself, I talk to Theo, like...
Because you can't actually, like, be alone in silence.
No, never.
For me, it is a dream.
To be alone.
There are some days, I don't know what days specifically, like when I used to work in a corporate office and before I was dating Zach, and I like hated my life. And
those were tough days.
There were days where like I would like see how long it took before I said something.
Before you like made human
before
contact.
I like had to, like so like maybe lunchtime when I like had to ask, can I have a tuna?
Right, the chicken or salad? Chicken.
Yeah, so like, but until then, I might not talk to anyone.
That's so crazy.
Or Uber for Jackie.
And, hey, is this for Jackie? Or like now it's like, by the time it's noon, you're talking.
Oh my God, by the
out of
time
your
it's
ass.
noon, I'm all talked out. I wish there was an app, like how there is the health app for taking steps, an app for like how much you spoke.
Words, yeah, words spoken per minute.
Yeah, like throat app.
Totally. I don't
Let's
know how
get
you
on
would
it.
measure that.
Shark Tank.
We have so many projects that we like need to develop before we can get to this one. What's our name for this app?
Oh,
Word count. Or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Words with Friends.
Oh,
I think
cute.
that one's available.
Yeah, I think so too. So yeah, but before that we have TNN.
Right.
We have so many things.
We have so many things. We have Shark Tank.
Well, good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to the Morning Toast. I'm feeling reinvigorated of my love for the toast. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. Yesterday was so fun. Yesterday was the longest day ever. Like yesterday's episode feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
My outfit like really didn't translate on camera. So today I just gave up completely. But I also have a very active day, so I really needed to be in like...
No, you're wearing joggers.
Right, and I also like have a fanny pack with me because...
September?
Joggers.
Fall. Joggers. Got it.
You know.
By the way, she finally made joggers. We were offline when the announcement was, but She by Sheree did come out with joggers.
Too little, too late.
And now everyone is following in her footsteps. Yeezy is releasing joggers, and I heard they're inspired by Sheree.
Yeezy invented joggers.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Because honestly, what she said, like, wasn't so crazy. If you've
It was athleisure.
No, if you've ever seen the Kanye interview where, like, years ago, where he said, like, joggers are the future. And it was
did he?
It was the weirdest thing. But he was right, because, like, look at, I wouldn't be wearing this if he hadn't said that.
Joggers.
So when she said that joggers as an answer, it was an ode to Kanye.
She was quite intuitive.
It was an ode to the
Interesting.
Ye.
To Ye. Well, what else? Do we have anything to recap before we dive right in?
I mean, I don't know. We could always think of something. How's Theo?
Just so busy, you know, being a precious gem of a man who fled his country and sought refuge in America with nothing to his name.
With a bustling medical practice.
Right. It's just like he's really truly an inspiration if you think about it. Like he's the American dream.
The American dream.
Just a thought. Just some Friday inspiration. Should we do Dear Toasters today? It's been 7 years.
Sure.
All right, let me go pull it
I
up.
have nowhere to be.
Me neither. Okay, hang on.
Actually, I do. Snitch and I are on a mission.
Ugh, oh my God, I'm having so many phone problems. I've reached maximum storage with my phone, which I don't think there's anything worse. It takes over your whole life.
Oh, you just have to get a new phone.
Right, and it's like, this is a new phone. This is an iPhone 10.
How have you reached maximum storage?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I have over 20,000 photos. That could be it.
Maybe it's all the FaceTiming.
No, it's of the 20,000 photos.
They're all being stored.
Jackie, of the 20,000 photos, I would say more than half are screenshots of like memes. Like I need to start deleting my
Right,
screenshots.
but like that takes up no space.
Yeah, actually, you know what takes up
video-
the most
you know
space?
what you need
It's
to-
my text.
Yeah, you need to delete your text.
But how?
Here.
Like with my hand?
No, you can edit, click, and to mass delete.
Ugh, but that's like, I love my texts. I have such precious memories with my texts.
Yeah, it's like you like your photos, but you
Love my
your
text messages. I just also hate, like, I never save anyone's phone number, so when they text me and I don't have the number, I read our old message and I infer. I'm like, you know, Nancy Drew like that. But if I don't have any recent text messages, I'm never gonna know who's texting me. Maybe that's a blessing, though.
You're not gonna know anyway because
Oh my God.
you and inferring.
Jackie, I have to tell you the most terrible thing that happened to me.
I think I know
What?
that Harry Styles.
No.
Oh,
The Meghan McCain of it all.
Oh, then
Two things happened.
Then I don't know.
Well, first of all, Meghan McCain was in Vegas when I was in Vegas because she was also seeing Gaga.
That's so crazy that Meghan McCain goes to Vegas.
I know. And she had the best time. And I was texting her.
She was seeing Gaga?
Yeah, but different night than me. But we were just DMing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Vegas when she just landed. And we were making plans. And she was like, by the way, my husband really wants to meet you because he heard that you called him hot on the toast. And I'm like, how did the toast get into Meghan McCain's house, And it was through her in-laws, apparently. Her sister-in-law's a toaster, so thanks whoever that girl is, for hooking it up. So I was dying of shame already, And then, this is so terrible, Jackie, I am an embarrassment. So she was like, let's get together.
It's okay. Continue.
She was like, let's get together. You have my number, right? And she sent her number. And I do have her number, and I have texted her 2 or 3 times over the course of a year. Just random things, happy birthday, you look great on Watch What Happens Live, random things, just to prolong the friendship. She has never answered. And they all went through as blue iMessage. So I was like, okay. So she sent me her phone number. She's like, you have it, right? And the last digit was wrong. So I was like, oh. So I sent her a screenshot. I'm like, I've been texting you for a year. I guess I had the wrong number. And she goes, oh, wait, no, sorry, I typed it wrong. And then she retyped it, and I had the right number the whole time, and she just wasn't answering me. She was like, oh my God, so many people text me all the time that I never know who they are. I'm like, I'm sure, but and I wasn't ever upset that she didn't answer, but now I'm embarrassed.
Right.
Truly.
But I'm sure she's telling the same story. And she's embarrassed, that she was called out, that she didn't respond, and she does like you, so it's
Jackie,
not like she's trying to ignore you.
It was one of the most shameful
I
moments.
think we have a situation where we have 2 embarazada women, and neither is pregnant.
Right, exactly. And I was in the bed in Vegas with Margaret. We had just woken up, and I screamed at the top of my lungs. I was like, no, it was the right number. It was so terrible. And actually, did you know that on Bravo, last week, they replayed their New Year's Eve special? Remember when they did that special where he made out with Tamara at New Year's? They did a live New Year's show. There were so many Bravo celebrities. Meghan McCain was on that.
Interesting.
I know. I thought it was so funny. She really has deep roots in Bravo.
No, she does, and she's really doing it
She's doing it right, yeah. Totally. She gets the seriousness and the respect of ABC and The View, but she gets to have a good time every now and then and go on Watch What Happens Live and drink margaritas.
And she could have I feel if she ever wants a good time, wants to go to Lady Gaga, there she is.
Yeah, because she's young and cool, but respected. I'm just young and cool. I get no respect.
No. But what would you even do with all the respect anyway?
I don't want to be respected for at least 5 years.
Okay, that's fair. Then you'll be 30.
Oh my God. That's so old.
That's so crazy.
I feel 30 is actually everyone's your 20s are the best time of your life, but I feel I'm really looking forward to the more relaxing 30s where there's less pressure.
The country club 30s.
Right. Oh my God, I actually had a dream we got into the country club and I was had a pit about it. I'm oh, now we have to go to the country club. But we haven't gotten in yet. I should send a follow-up.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel it's not member adding season.
There
are seasons for adding members.
Yeah, right before summer. I feel this is actually member adding season.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I'm just I'm waiting for my follow-up from the country club. An interview, something.
I would love an interview.
Me too. I would kill it. I would wear a collared shirt with a pleated skirt.
And you'd bring Theo. He would win them over in a
but
heartbeat.
country club Waswick, they don't filth,
He'd whip up some of his world famous borscht.
Maybe they would respect me. Okay.
I could go for some borscht.
Oh, well, let me pull up some Dear Toasters. If you guys don't, if you have some new toasters, Dear Toasters is our advice segment. You can send anonymous advice to deartoasters@gmail.com. We will never reveal your identity unless you want us to. And we're breaking down, giving advice, not very good advice, for anything from, bridal drama, family drama, DNA drama. We've had some sperm bank drama. The more interesting and weird, the better. But feel free to send it along to deartoasters@gmail.com. I'm going to pull some up because we have so many that we haven't gotten to in a while.
DNA drama.
Oh my
While
God.
you're doing that, I just want to address what happened in the comments yesterday.
Okay, what happened?
Really quickly, because everyone is popping off and wilding out. And just want to let you know it's handled, in the words of Olivia Pope.
Oh, okay. There were trolls yesterday in impostering some of our biggest toasters.
The famous toasters. And I have to be honest, if you're a toaster and you got impostered, that can only be a compliment.
It's an honor.
It's an honor.
And if you didn't get impostered, I would reevaluate.
I would just work a little harder, that's all. It's not hard. It just takes a little hard work.
Okay, I got the Dear Toasters up, so we'll do that later.
Are you ready for the first story, which is the only story of the day everyone's talking about? Kevin Hart sat down with Ellen.
What's so crazy is that everyone's talking about it and it hasn't even aired yet. Only a 7-minute clip was played on the Today Show.
Right. Well, but the rollout has been good.
Yes.
Because yesterday she announced that she did an interview with Kevin Hart. She was going to release it next week, but she's actually releasing it tomorrow, which is today. Mm-hmm. Then this morning, 7 minutes, came out, and the interview is airing on her show this afternoon?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll get the large portion of it later, but I have to imagine this was
The meat.
the meat of it. So it opens, Ellen is sharing her, one-on-one conversations with the Academy. I wonder, like, when you say the Academy,
Right, who?
Who are you talking to?
And she just makes it seem like she just picked it up and dialed like 911. Like it's a place everyone can call. Yeah, like she has them on speed dial. I just gave them a ring.
Right, and it's like the Academy this, the Academy that, be like, you have to only be talking to like one person.
Right, and is it like the president?
Who knows?
Well, she made it seem like they still really want him to host. They haven't found anyone yet because I think they're still hoping that he will do it. And after watching this interview, I'm fairly certain he is going to do it.
So we're just going to give you the highlights as told to you by People magazine. It's the first time Kevin Hart has given an interview about the topic since he announced he was stepping down from his role as Oscars host on December 6th, a mere 2 days after being given the job. During those days, previous homophobic comments Hart had made reemerged online, leading the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, science please, to ask
So true.
to ask the actor for an apology. Like, please, Isaac Newton is rolling.
Right, with his apples.
But as he told DeGeneres, Hart had already apologized for his words. Quote, "It was an attack," he told Ellen. "This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a coincidence that the day after I received the job, that tweets just somehow manifested from 2008. I don't know who follows me or who doesn't, but I'm on social media every single day. I have over 40,000 tweets. To go through 40,000 tweets to get back to 2008, that's an attack. That's a malicious attack on my character." Quote, "That's an attack to end me. That's not an attack to end the Oscars. That's an attack to end me," he continued. "This was to destroy me. This was to end all partnerships, all brand relationships, all investment opportunities, studio relationships, my production company, and the people work underneath me. This was to damage the lives that had been invested in me. It's bigger than just the Oscars. It's about the individuals who are out there now that are finding success in damage. They're finding success in damaging your," quote, "celebrity."
So I don't necessarily agree with everything he said, but he does make a really interesting point in like every time it's like someone gets canceled and there's like tweets, like the people who find it are acting like they're doing this world justice. Like, we figured it out. Like, she worships Satan in her closet when she goes home. Like, they act like they're doing the world a favor when, let's call a spade a spade. Like, you're looking to destroy or like remove an opportunity from someone, and like, that's fine, just own it. Like, but they do it under the mask of like, I'm doing this for the greater good. Like, if we didn't know this, like, we would die, you know?
Right, it's like 40,000 tweets and 3 are offensive. That's all he stands for.
Right.
Not the 40,000 other things that he said over 10 years.
Now, I'm just so confused by this. And I was reading, I'm firmly in the middle on this issue because given my particular life experience, but and I'm really reading both sides because I'm trying to see like what I understand. And I was just seeing a lot of tweets from the gay community this morning, just like really not happy with Ellen. And when I think about it, I'm like, Ellen really defines two kind of like labels or identities. One as like the first gay woman on television, like she came out on TV, like she is a pioneer and icon, like she got a medal from Obama, like she is important in the community. But she's also has been a comedian her whole life, and comedians are very much of the mindset like we don't apologize. Like the point of our job is to disrupt and make people feel uncomfortable, and like that's comedy, and like if you like it, great. If you don't, fuck you. And like that's their stance, and they're very like staunchly unapologetic. But as like this gay icon, like it's her job to like make sure that, you know, gay people are being protected and like there's good conversations happening. So she really, out of anyone, like falls the most in the middle, but she took this like complete side of the comedian being like, fuck the trolls. Like she didn't really, and maybe she will because there's so much of the conversation we haven't seen yet, but like she didn't even really talk about what he said.
No, but it seems like she's approaching this, at least from the clip I've seen, from like a post-apology standpoint, which I really appreciate because it's like, how many times does one person have to apologize? If she said, come on my show and apologize, he would be like, I apologize.
That's true.
You know, at a certain point, what's the point of an apology if people can't accept it and move on?
Right, like if you keep having to say it.
Right.
That's true.
I appreciate that we're PA. We're post-apology.
Yeah.
And now it's like, how do we move forward from here? And I really appreciate that she's taking a stand against cancel culture.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's time.
It's time. But people are not happy with Ellen. Like these things I was reading, they were just like, actually I don't remember, but they were making good points. And I was like, yeah. Every time I read something about this, regardless of whose side they're on, I'm like, yeah, they're right. Oh, That's a good point. So I can't decide really where I'm at. I am appreciative that this conversation about tweets and cancel culture is finally happening. Like, do I wish it happened like a little bit earlier? Yeah. And am I like a little salty that like he's been given like the opportunity of a lifetime? Like people are being so like forgiving and understanding. Like, and I don't think he's doing enough with that. Like that's annoying me. And like I'm jealous. And I can only think of like if people had been a third as understanding about our situation, like, oh my God, I would have been so appreciative.
I mean, you're a pioneer.
Yeah, truly.
In the cancel culture arts.
Right. I was the first person ever to be canceled.
No, you weren't.
No.
And
I won't be the last.
You won't be the last.
No.
I agree with you. I'm glad this conversation is happening because in the past it's never even been a conversation. It's just off with their heads.
Right. So it's moving
off with their brands.
Right. And like, let's have a meaningful discussion without just being like, oh, you can't be in any movies and you can't be a brand affiliate. And like, let's have the conversation. Like, let's talk about it. No, why does it have to be like this absolute like peace out? And every time, like, I'm sure if I was scrolling through the comments right now, I'm not watching, like, people are probably making valid points. And I just...
Every side has valid points, that's the thing.
And you know what? Cool.
That's the thing. The thing is, every side has valid points here. As a Kevin Hart stan, and also someone who has a different take on all of this due to personal experience, I think he's handling it quite graciously. It's so funny because he's being so serious in this interview, and like he's just still so funny.
We always say like he's the perfect example of a comedian who's physically funny. Like just the way even if it's like ordering lunch, like that's funny.
No, even if it's apologizing, that's funny.
Like Jack Black is like that.
And I do think one that he will host the Oscars, and
Me too.
And I think that if he does, it will really say something about our society moving forward and no longer just subscribing to this.
Yeah, and it's like, we come from the internet, which is like sensitivity, like central, like you have to watch your words and like everyone is very in tune with their feelings. But now I'm coming up on 1 year anniversary of the Dirty Jeans tour. So now I'm like kind of looking at it through a lens of like just a comedian who wants to make people laugh. And that's why I think I stand so firmly in the middle, because with like the background of like being an influencer, like you're used to like, every word, internet troll, community, like atmosphere. But then when you are in a comedy club and like no one's recording and like you could say whatever you want, like, and now I'm like just watching so many people stand. Like I just started watching Bill Burr, who's like very like barstool, like doesn't give a fuck. And it's like, it's shocking.
Yeah.
So I think I stand firmly in the middle just because of that. But like I said, I still don't have an opinion here, and I'm not going to say anything that's going to upset anyone, because like Kevin Hart didn't,
Oh wait, he didn't come out for you.
Right.
Yeah, maybe one day.
No, but like Ellen is really the only person.
Right, she's the perfect ambassador for this on behalf of Kevin Hart and the Academy.
It's just so weird. Like I didn't even know they knew each other.
No, but like everyone knows each other. And then when she made a joke about when she was like, I'm gay, he
gay.
was like, what? And she was like, I didn't tell you. I didn't think you'd like me.
No, that was so funny. And that's the conversation. Like,
right.
That's funny.
That's funny.
And no one is upset by that. Because
No.
Ellen's not. And if Ellen's not upset, I'm not upset.
So anyways, I encourage everyone to watch this clip, and then I will watch Larger Interview, but I have to imagine this is like the hot moment.
And just from like a PR perspective, like this is a brilliant pairing for Kevin.
Yeah.
Because like if Ellen sanctions you, the world can, because like Ellen is,
and just like
Ellen.
From a personal perspective, I really hope he hosts the Oscars.
Well, so
because
then,
I wanted to watch.
Jackie, I heard, and I only heard this in like a comment section, but people were saying that Catherine Zeta-Jones and Halle Berry were like the next about to be announced. I don't know if that's true or not. That's odd.
That's odd. Is that odder or less odd than Andy Samberg and Sandra?
Way less odd. I mean, Halle Berry she was the first Black woman to win Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress. She's an icon in the Oscars world.
For sure.
And I don't know what Catherine Zeta-Jones is.
But it's like, are we diverting from comedy in hosting?
Right. And
then really, like, it's torture to watch.
No, but then it's just like a boring show.
It's already boring.
And there's nothing more boring than like not funny people reading jokes written for them by other people. Because then it's just like, you don't even get the joke, you're just reading it from a teleprompter.
Right, and the timing is off, and then it's like, even if someone else wrote it, like, you have to stand up. Like, you own that joke.
Totally.
Do you stand behind it?
Totally.
You shouldn't. Okay, well, that's the big news of the day. Everyone can go home.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay, next up, Bethenny Frankel's flight forced to turn around because of her fish allergy.
Oh my God, I was watching her live tweet this whole thing.
Were you?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not on Twitter, so I really don't know. Like, I guess I miss a lot of things, but then I find out from
the toast.
Yeah, so, yeah, truly from the toast.
Truly.
So We're giving you the highlights. Bethenny Frankel has had another fishy encounter, this time at 35,000 feet. Weeks after surviving a near-fatal allergic reaction to fish, the Real Housewives of New York star realized that bass was being served aboard a flight she took Thursday. Quote, called airline Molt X to say, I have fish allergy.
By the way, she doesn't tweet in English. Molt X means, I called the airline multiple times.
Oh my God.
You know, I was reading it. It was literally Morse code. I was like, what the fuck is she saying?
Like this?
Yeah, I was like, multiple times.
You can wink with both eyes.
Yeah, can you not?
No.
One of them is cooler. Like this one's like, hey, baby. This one is like, hey, baby. You know, not as cool. But yes, I have the ability to do both. Is that special?
Yes, very much so. And they say you have no talent.
Not bad for a girl with no talent.
She got on and they're serving bass. Quote, they couldn't not serve it, they said. Then they were turning around, which I protested because it would delay people.
Totally.
Cabin asked to not serve it and pilot made announcement to plane. That was fun. Hashtag EpiLife. It was unclear which airline Frankel was flying, but the reality TV star said, quote, they know who they are. Frankel then cited a recent story about a Brooklyn boy who died suddenly after suffering a possible allergic reaction to the smell of cooking fish. Quote, there are 7 allergen groups and fewer are airborne. The airlines and world needs to change. I was always self-conscious about it, and today it didn't help, she wrote. Being trapped in a cabin with no windows with cooking fish is a death trap, she added in another tweet. To clarify, some allergens are transmitted by touch and air. Fish is one and is fatal, she said. I never knew that.
There's so many things that are so crazy about this, that the airplane would have rather turned around than just not served the fish.
Right.
That's so stupid. And she did call in advance. I would love to know what airline this is. I literally, on my flight home from Vegas, we were like so late because I need to be the first one to board. So I was like running, and I made a stop to get peanut butter M&Ms from Hudson News because they're the best snack on an airplane and they're just my favorite. And I was like so excited. And the second I get on the plane, they're like, there's someone with a peanut allergy. We're not serving peanuts. If you have any peanut sex, don't eat it. And like I couldn't eat it.
Wait, what?
I know.
That's never happened to me because I was going to say.
Oh, that's happened to me many times.
I can't believe this isn't a bigger issue. Maybe because I don't like listen to the announcements.
Yeah, I've heard on like a few times only for peanuts being like, we're not serving peanuts, and if you have peanuts, please don't open them.
Interesting.
And I didn't know from Bethenny that there are people who can like have allergy attacks just based on smell or like touch.
That I did know, but I didn't know that. I didn't know. I never thought of this as an issue. And how? And she just like, first of all, not only can she like afford to fly private most of the time, but like she has a platform where she can complain about this. But like, imagine how many people like suffer in coach.
No, totally. And that's such a good point. There's no windows. It's your air.
Actually, I guess being in coach is better because they don't serve fish because they don't serve anything.
Right. True.
She should have moved to the back of the plane.
So did they turn it around? What ended up happening?
They turned it around.
That's nuts. Oh my God, I would be so mad if I was a passenger, like who was diverted just because like they wouldn't throw the fish away.
That would not be a
divine diversion. Not at all.
Not at all.
That sucks.
Real, like I don't even know. I just can't believe this doesn't happen more often.
Well, it happens pretty frequently. Like there's like these legends. Like when we were younger, there was like this girl in Canada. Do you remember this story? Was making out with her boyfriend and he had a peanut butter sandwich and she died. It was like an urban myth, you know, like ooh, spooky ghost story.
Spooky stuff. Do you want to hear something so crazy, like that you probably know, but I've never told the toasters? So my first kiss in life was with someone who had like a deadly peanut allergy, and we were like dating. And
in like the 7th grade.
In the 7th grade, so like where you like someone asks you out online and then you guys
never
don't talk until you get home and get on the computer.
No, Jackie, you never talk until you break up.
Right. So when we like were planning for our first kiss at someone's bar mitzvah, like I couldn't eat peanuts or peanuts.
Oh, you had to prep.
I couldn't eat all day.
Some people have to like brush their teeth mint, like you couldn't eat peanuts.
No, but it wasn't just peanuts. It was like even
Sesame,
the chicken cooked in whatever. So I just starved.
Honestly, that's what you do for true love.
And then your breath is terrible when you don't eat.
Of course.
I think like that was before I had halitosis, keto breath. I was just a kid.
Yeah, no, that is so funny. No, and it's so weird because like people are plagued by allergies, but no one in our family is allergic to anything. Ben's not allergic to anything, so it's like
I'm allergic to bees.
Knock on wood. Oh, actually, that's true.
But I don't. I know I got stung by a bee-looking insect one time, and I had to go to the hospital, and I like blew up in hives, and it was just nasty. But I don't think it was a bee.
What do you think it was? Like
I think it was like something that would have caused anyone.
Oh, to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's just like so I've lived my life like free of.
And I have seasonal allergies.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Yes,
but I've lived my life like free of this like chip on. People have like literally a chip on their shoulders because their allergies like really affect their lives. Whereas like I just feel like I didn't even know about this until Bethenny.
I feel like there's like two different ways you can go about allergies. Like you can tweet about it all day long. Or you could be like Margot Lewin, who's been my best friend for 20 years, and every time we go to a restaurant, I am reminded that she has allergies because I had no clue. Like, I ordered smoked salmon for us, and then it came and she was like, oh no, I can't have, like, I can't eat salmon.
Oh, really?
It's like, I had no clue because you're so not annoying about it.
Right. No, yeah, it's like, it's life or death sometimes, so like,
So
so I understand, like, the annoying.
I guess then there's also two types of allergies, life or death, and just like itchy.
Like when you used to lie and say you were allergic to apples. Remember, you were like,
I am not allergic, but to the pesticides that are used to grow fruit. Like if I don't thoroughly wash an apple, or like cherries, for example, I can't eat cherries; it really make my throat itch. If I have an apple and I don't wash it, itchy season. But if I wash it thoroughly and I get rid of the pesticides, I'll be okay.
Right, but like that's not the same as like you being allergic to the smell of fish.
No.
Like that person's allowed to be dramatic.
No, yeah, it's not the same at all. But I'm also allergic to fruit on like on an ideological level.
Yeah, no, I just don't like.
I'm anti-fruit.
Conceptually, I'm against fruit. My body rejects the concept of like a healthy, sugary snack.
No, not even healthy.
Right, yeah. It's like the good calories, like.
Not even. Most fruits are just sugar.
Totally.
Nature's junk
But
food.
then it's also so crazy that there are people who are allergic to something their whole life, and then like something happens, they get some shot or whatever, that they can start eating like peanut butter or dairy. Like I remember one of Margot's, our little sister's friends, there's so many Margots in my life these days that I need to specify, was allergic to dairy her whole life, and then she like kind of grew out of it, and like Margot was there the first time she ever had ice cream in her whole life. Like that's crazy.
That is crazy.
If like I think like I would be devastated if I was allergic to dairy or gluten. I think gluten.
Because dairy is like good pizza substitutes. Like, and also if you take like a lactate or something,
right, you can go around it.
Yeah, you can circumvent.
Yeah, no, I think gluten. That's so true.
Honestly, for me, like a slice of pizza would be worth a bellyache.
But a slice of pizza is gluten and dairy.
Damn, son.
Well, Ben's sister, and she's actually really not annoying about it either, but I just remembered she's allergic to gluten and dairy. So she literally can't have anything. That's why she's so skinny. Must be nice.
Pros and cons.
Totally.
Okay, next story. Drama. In today's tax fraud scandals, Bar Refaeli could face tax fraud and perjury charges.
Tax what?
Tax fraud. Supermodel Bar Refaeli was notified by Israeli authorities Thursday that she may be charged with tax fraud, and perjury for lying that she was living with Leonardo DiCaprio in the U.S. even though her primary residence was in Tel Aviv, according to reports. It's like,
oh my God, I didn't realize.
She cannot shake this ex.
This relationship,
you know, it's like all she's known for really in America is dating Leo, and it's like even in Israel she's like charged with dating Leo.
Totally. But like it's like in America she was like in Sports Illustrated and was really like Leonardo DiCaprio's longtime girlfriend for a while before he like years ago. If you go to Israel, she's literally on every billboard in the airport. Like before you even leave, she's everywhere. The jewelry, Pandora.
Caroline Lemke.
Caroline, yeah.
Well, now I'm seeing she's the owner of sunglasses chain Carolina Lemke.
Oh.
Well, because if you go to Israel, like every ad is like
for this eyeglass company.
For this eyeglass company or H. Stern.
Totally.
And she's in all the pictures for the eyeglass company because she's the #1 model in Israel, like by a long shot.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot though is coming up. She's gonna.
But she's not a model.
I bet if we went back to Israel now, Gal Gadot is everywhere.
Probably.
Anyways, it turns out she owns the sunglass company, but she's suspected of not declaring income received outside Israel between 2009 and 2012 at a value of some 23 million shekels or $6.1 million, according to Israeli's I-24 News.
Damn, she makes bank.
Yeah, from 2006 to 2007, she told tax officials in the United States that she was a resident of Israel and told tax officials in the Jewish state that she was a resident of the U.S. at the time she was dating DiCaprio.
That is so crazy.
That's shady.
That's shady. I just feel like of all the places to be like convicted of a crime, like Israel is not a place I want to be convicted of a crime. Like they take that shit seriously and they take it personally. And like if you end up in jail, you're in jail with like terrorists.
No, and it's like things must be bad because she's like up there top 5 Israeli ambassadors.
Right, and like she does good work for like as being the face of Israel. I'm like, you know what? If she's going to cheat on her taxes, like I feel like they would let that go.
Right, so it must
be really
bad. It must have gotten bad.
And I relate to this so wholeheartedly because I paid my taxes yesterday because I pay quarterly just so that when the year comes, like in April, I don't have to pay one big check. But it's like every 4 months, like I die a little bit inside and like I have no money. And actually, the checks haven't been cashed yet, but like when they are, I'll have no money and like you're just going to have to spot me.
Okay, and Theo is like really coming up in the medical field, so he'll spot you. I haven't done my taxes yet, and I was actually just thinking about them because the year is over, so like now it would be a good time to start doing tax-related preparations.
Yeah, and also it's like, it's kind of unfair because there's no like tax course.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you learn
We
all
talk
this
about this all the
useless
time.
shit in school, mitochondria. What is a 1099? Like, I need there to be some, like, a Google for taxes.
What's the difference between a 1099 and a W-9?
Or a W-2. Just wait, I got something
And
for
then,
you.
by the way, if there's a W-2 and a W-9, that means there's a W-3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right, like in
the
between.
hell are those?
No, right. So thankfully, TurboTax Live is a new way to do your taxes. It combines tech with on-demand tax pros who can answer your questions and offer personalized advice. That's right, real CPAs and EAs can help you with your return and find all the deductions that apply to you. So you can rest assured you're doing the taxes right, which is like, I get kept up at night that I do it wrong. You know?
Right.
Their tax experts are there when you need them so you can file with complete peace of mind. TurboTax Live with CPAs and EAs on demand. See all the details at TurboTax.com. Now, this is a product I can get behind.
Right, and here we are, getting behind it.
Exactly.
I'm actually going to do that once I can, like,
No, because
mentally...
especially for our work, like every now and then I have like a question and I'm like, I gotta call, leave a message, leave a note for the accountant. Like I just wanna ask, like, hey, do I do this or that?
Right, and in these modern times, like, things aren't as cut and dry as they are. Like, if you're a small business owner or self-employed, like, then it's really hard. If you work for a major company, they pretty much, like, cover you, and you just have to file your tax returns.
Yeah.
But, like, they give you your tax returns.
No, that's easy, but it's like technical freelancers who are self-employed. First of all, you get taxed so much higher because there's a huge self-employment tax in New York. And like, what are the rules? Like, there needs to just be like this. Like, I just need someone to be like, yo, send a text to. Like, yo, is this right? Yo, what's a W-2?
And that's what TurboTax Live is for.
TG. T motherfucking G.
Okay, speaking of some more international news, a new survey has come out that nearly everyone loves Jackie O. I want to see if you're listening.
Who did the survey, Zach?
No, Theo. A new survey has come out that nearly everyone's obsessed with the morning toast. A new survey has come out that nearly half of Britain wants Prince Charles to abdicate after Queen Elizabeth II
What
dies.
does abdicate mean? Skip?
Skip. I'm here for a skip
That's
season.
like so mean.
A new survey shows that almost half of the British public wants Prince Charles to abdicate the throne following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. I mean, like, I can't even talk about the death of Queenie vibes.
No.
It's gonna be such a sad day. She's an incredible queen.
And really beloved by all. I don't know what the survey is on her, but I'm sure it's overwhelmingly positive.
The survey conducted by BMG Research on behalf of The Independent reveals that 46% of the British public wants Charles, who is first in line for the throne and the longest-serving heir apparent, to give it up so that Prince William can take the throne.
Well,
here for it.
Honestly, this is like a hurtful, it's basically like, hey, Prince Charles, we did a survey. Half the country doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Die. Like, and you know what's so crazy? And like, I'll never see.
I said switch.
Yes, yes. And now you're on my last nerve. I said switch. No, honestly.
This is definitely a case of the princess switch.
Of course. And it just will always really like boggle my mind that Prince Charles, who is old as fuck, like has a mom. Do you know what I mean?
And a dad.
Is Philip his dad?
Yes.
Oh my God, like, like Jews don't live past like 75. I
No.
can't relate to that on any sort of level.
It's a Jewish thing, and it's also like a modern medicine, all the resources in the world thing.
Right. And it's, I mean, I'm here for the abdication. That just means we're one step closer to like a Kate Middleton, Queenie vibes. Maybe like if she mysteriously dies, like a Meghan Markle, you know? I feel like Meghan Markle is the type of girl to kill Kate Middleton in her sleep so she could be the queen.
No, but she wouldn't even be, so I don't think
Oh.
Kate has to sleep with one eye open. It's because then it's their kids. Like then
Oh, Charlotte.
George.
No, for queen.
Oh, for queen.
I know it doesn't work that way. Like there's not always a king and queen, right?
Right.
That will never make sense to me. It's like, it's so simple. King and queen, they're kids, princess, princess. When they grow up, king. Like, I will never understand why, like, it's Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Like,
No, I will never understand how it's Prince William and Duchess Kate.
right, like,
She's a princess.
and so
If you marry a prince, you're a princess. Imagine like rising.
Meghan Markle is a duchess too, right?
Yeah, Duchess of Sussex. Imagine rising the ranks. You're marrying a prince, and you're still not a princess.
And like, when you just marry a prince, like, Disney taught us, you're a princess.
And so, by the way, is technically the princess Camilla? Because we have to have a princess. No, she's not. She's a duchess of
So are there
somewhere
no
else.
princess? Well, Eugenie
Oh,
and
right.
Beatrix
Are princesses. Yes, but daughters of the queen. Okay, no, daughters of the queen.
Who is the daughter of the queen? There isn't. Just Charles is her kid, right? She have more kids?
Yes, she
Oh,
had more
Fergie.
kids. No, Fergie was married to Andrew.
Andrew was her son?
Andrew was her son. She has 4 kids. I have
Are
to
any
imagine
of them girls?
Yes.
Who are they?
Queen's kids. Let's find out. There's Charles.
Elizabeth Windsor daughters.
There's Charles, Anne, so she's a princess.
Who's Anne? You think she would be more famous?
Daughter. Prince Andrew
Is
and
she
Prince
alive?
Edward. Princess Anne. She's alive. And she has
Can I see a
children.
picture of her?
Yeah. She looks like,
She looks literally just like the queen.
wow. And it's crazy that's the queen's daughter.
That's what I'm saying.
Looks
It's
like
like
the queen's-
all these ancient people like are someone's kids who's still alive.
Oh, look at her wedding photos. She's babe.
Glam. Like, where is the justice for Anne?
She's the real princess.
Right.
A princess.
A princess. It's just so funny because, like, when you think of a princess, you think of, like, a teenage girl.
You think of Mia Thermopolis.
Like, you don't think of, like, a 70-year-old woman being a princess. Like, she's a queen.
Right.
But there can only be one.
No.
So I'm sure someone will give me a detailed explanation as to why Prince Philip isn't the king, but I refuse to subscribe to that narrative. In my mind, like, the next king and queen are William and Kate, and I will give them that respect.
Right.
And if they were to die, Harry and Meghan would be king and queen. Like, that's just the way that I see it.
Right. No, but if they were to die, George is the king. And
But so could there be a king and the queen as like siblings, or they have to be married?
I think back in the day there could be, but I don't know if
The law allows that.
if that would be palatable.
Out.
If society could palate that.
Okay. No, yeah, like I'll just never understand. And I don't think British people understand it either. And they're not obsessed with like the royal like dynamics as we are. Like
Claudia.
the Americans made them into celebrities.
No, Claudia, they are so obsessed.
Are you sure?
Yes. You see the royal weddings, all the shops with the mugs.
But those people who fly to the royal wedding aren't from like London. People in London are like, get out.
There are people who fly to the royal wedding, and they're like, no, yes, London people. It's just like people who live in New York. It's like too cool for school.
Right, like
But
like the Empire State Building doesn't faze us.
Right, but Great Britain,
Yeah, like on the outskirts, people who like live in the English countryside.
they live for
But
it.
the elitists in the city are like, get out. Like, they cause traffic. That's the way we feel like when the president comes to town.
For sure. So London is like the New York.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, fair.
But everyone else, they're totally obsessed. They're more obsessed than we are for sure. Because I only became obsessed because of The Crown, and thank you.
I only became obsessed because Kate Middleton. Like, I was just like so jealous of her story in high school.
But according to Melanie Bromley, I believe like
Oh, so you're about to say something untrue.
like I don't think skipping Charles isn't even an option.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like we all as a
What's
society.
the word for skipping?
Well, he would have to abdicate. Okay,
Okay.
so like, yes, he could abdicate, but that would have to be his choice.
Right.
But based on like 46% of public opinion, like he's not abdicating. Like he would have to not want to be a royal, but based on all of his like life,
He's been through treachery. Like, he wants it.
Yeah.
It's like all of that just to pass it up?
Right.
Hell no.
Like he went to that boys' school.
His wife, Diana, like he went through so much treachery because he was born being a royal. And there's one upside of being a royal. Being royal. You think he would pass that up?
Right. And when I once explored this avenue, because I was like, oh my God, we're skipping Charles. It's possible that William and Kate wouldn't even want that, because the longer they're not king and queen or king and duchess,
Prince, right.
The more normal semblance of a
Yeah.
life that they have. Then they have to like. Then it's
No, if
over.
they take it now, like they're royal, like for 70 years.
and that's not fun.
No, I agree. I don't think he should abdicate.
And their
He's
children.
just so old.
And then George is first in line, and so
It's just like Elizabeth and Charles look like brother and sister, not son and daughter.
no, I know.
I mean, son and mom.
Look, here's a picture of them.
Right, they look like husband and wife.
They do.
She's
but then when
so
you
mad
see
cute.
Philip, she's so mad cute, and she's such a great queen. Mm-hmm. Like she's just so.
She brings all the queenie vibes.
right, and like I'm sorry, but Charles is not king material.
No, he doesn't give me that kind of king vibe. But like maybe it's something you grow into. You're not just like given.
He's grown.
Totally.
He's grown as hell.
He's grown AF.
He's older than most people will have the
chance
fortune
to live.
of living to.
How old is he?
I'm looking. 70.
All right, that's not that old, but like it's old.
It's yeah. I guess living to 70 is like
No, but
I
like
know,
maybe
that's
it's just
pretty
something
cool.
about being British, because honestly, I just found this out. Trump is 70. That's like so old for a president, but it's like he looks like he has 30 years on Prince Charles. Like they're the same age. They went to
wanna
high
see a
school
picture of-
together,
That's crazy.
right? When I found out Trump was 70, I was like, what? That is so old, like for a president. Because when you're president, you have to be at least 35. So I guess they're expecting like a 45-year-old president, maybe
Yeah.
50, not 70.
Yeah. Whoa.
Crazy.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Okay. Next story, which was included at the request of one Claudia.
I don't even remember.
Everything you need to know about Justin Bieber's feud with YouTube star JoJo Siwa.
Let me tell you why I needed to be included. One, I like to consider myself a patron of all pop culture, and if you don't know JoJo Siwa right now, like you're behind. Second of all, I have a sister who's obsessed with being a teenager and Fortniting all around her sister's wedding, so it would behoove you
Love,
to
love, and make a wish.
TNN. It
Dancing with
would
the
behoove
Stars, Dancing with the Stars, Dancing with the
it
Stars.
would
Dancing with the
behoove
Stars.
you to know JoJo Siwa if you really want to be in with the kids.
I agree. So I'm going to take you from the top because I haven't read this article and I have honestly no clue what's going on other than like I once Googled JoJo Siwa and I think I figured out how she
made you.
Yeah, because you were like, she has a deal with Nickelodeon. I guess she was once on Dance Moms, and that's how she like was introduced. Okay.
So I personally found out about her through a targeted Facebook ad for one of her shows. She's playing in like Nassau Coliseum. And I was like, who is this child who's selling out arenas all over the world? Like in Australia, she's doing an arena. And I was like, now I need to know. That's why I asked Jackie to Google it once.
Competition. In need of a good celebrity feud to take you into the new year?
Of course.
If so, we have just the one for you. A riveting squabble between Justin Bieber and JoJo Siwa. By the way, this is by Refinery 29. It's their words, so if anything's weird,
which
blame
it probably will be.
You know who Justin Bieber is. Canadian pop star, husband, slipper mogul. What?
Wait. That is such a weird way to describe Justin Bieber.
Like he's not
Canadian pop star?
He's international.
No, that makes it seem like he's big in Canada.
Right.
Which I'm sure he is, but he's a global, why do you even need to say that? It's like, that would be like, you know Obama, former president. Like, everyone knows him. Like, you wouldn't need to say, it's like, Justin Bieber got into it, but you don't have to say, like, a description of, like, a biography.
Like, you know Kim Kardashian.
Selfie queen
American
and reality.
socialite.
Right. No, that's so weird.
Canadian pop star, husband, slipper mogul. Are you aware of the slippers?
I just think describing someone as a husband is very odd.
Whatever.
This is such a weird article.
We have to get through
I
it.
know.
The party you may be less like, I guess they're trying to prove the point that like, you know Justin Bieber, but do you know, slightly less familiar with, is Siwa, a 15-year-old Dance Moms alum who is now a YouTube star known for her large hair bows and collaborations with the likes of Colleen Ballinger and the Paul brothers. The great Bieber-Siwa feud began as all things do. Okay, that's good, that's good.
Yeah, that's like how they would write it in a textbook.
Right. The great Bieber-Siwa feud began as all things do with a car customization company based in Southern California, the brand West Coast Customs.
Oh, that's where the Kardashians go.
Pin my ride?
Oh, yeah.
We need Exhibit here to
break it down
to serve
for
up
us.
some justice.
Where the hell is Exhibit?
I don't know.
I worry about
I'll
him.
never forget. Someone in middle school, like when the show was on, said to me, they're like, you're like Exhibit because you laugh at all your own jokes. It was like,
What an astute observation.
what a weird reference.
Yeah, who?
I don't know, a classmate.
That is crazy.
Maybe my boyfriend.
Where
at
did
the
you
time.
go? Harvard?
The brand West Coast Customs reposted an Instagram photo from Siwa, who got a BMW for Christmas that was decked out with rainbow rims.
Does she even know how to drive?
Honestly, at 15, like, people drive young these days. Rainbow rims, sparkly unicorn decals, and a blown-up photo of her face on the hood.
That's so
Quote,
cute.
Siwa cannot legally drive yet without a parent or guardian present. I just want to say, respect to Refinery 29, answering the important questions. Bieber, who follows West Coast Customs on Instagram, commented, quote, burn it on the photo.
That's
twice.
so mean.
Oh my God, I hate when Instagram comments do that. It's like, I know he didn't comment twice, like just like
It was
glitch.
just a picture of the car, because I saw a picture, there was a cardboard cutout of Justin Bieber inside of it, but maybe that's how she responded.
For sure. So then a few days later, she posted another Instagram photo of the car, this time with a cardboard cutout of Bieber in the passenger seat. If you are the kind of person who likes to think of things in scale, it may be helpful to know that Bieber and Siwa are both 5'9", at least according to a brief Google search I conducted. Thank you. Her caption, burn it.
Ooh, good for her.
Bieber, perhaps feeling that the feud had gotten more intense than his original intent, tweeted an apology to Siwa. Quote, I have nothing against you. It was the car and the colors I didn't like. I really hope you didn't think it was malicious or mean-spirited. Siwa responded graciously, saying all was forgiven, especially if Bieber performs at her 16th birthday party.
Oh my God, if he doesn't do it, I'll be so upset.
He has yet to respond to her request.
Oh my God, that would be so epic. And but Justin Bieber is like in this position, like this moment in his life where he like doesn't care about his celebrity, but like if he still had a publicist on staff, like she would make him do this, and that would be the perfect way to end this story.
Totally. But he seems like a nice guy-ish these days.
Yeah.
And like that is such a cute way to end a feud. It's like things got really heated. Like they were literally
With a bunch of
burning.
teenagers.
They were burning. And now she invited him to her birthday party.
So when we did the deep dive analysis,
It was his 50th birthday.
Let me remind you, it does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty. So we did a deep dive on JoJo Siwa, and there is a very helpful, and I hate to admit it, BuzzFeed article about JoJo Siwa. Like, here are all the things you need to know. And the reason why she's gotten so popular is because like she has this like colorful dreamland. Like her room is like when you were 6, like your fucking dream room, like on crack with unicorns. And she is rolling in the dough. She makes merch that like sells out instantly. Like it's just like her merch is like making millions. She has Lunchables, JoJo Siwa Lunchables that sell at Walmart.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like she's fucking killing it. Like she has so many YouTube subscribers. Her YouTube videos are killing it, and she's on this sold out arena tour. And she has a song called Dream. And the arena tour is sponsored or in partnership with Nickelodeon, which is genius.
Right. So they're backing her, which is great. And then I realized her real impact, I was telling you when I was watching Amanda Stan's story, and she was talking about how her kids won't sleep in their own bed at night. They're always sleeping with her. So she's tried a few different tactics to get them to stay in their bed. And one was them picking out their own sheets instead of, like, I'm sure the pretty Instagram ones that she has.
Like Madewell.
Right. And her daughter picked out JoJo Siwa bedding, and now she's sleeping through the night.
Well, I just think this is so great.
So, like,
kids
JoJo
have a good
Siwa's
role model.
Changing lives.
Good. But so in addition to being just like a positive influence and role model for young girls, she's a gay icon. Like, the gays are obsessed with her.
Really?
And that's why I was like, we need to get on board. I need to hear her song. Like, I just need to become a JoJo Siwa stan and, like, put a bow in my hair, you know?
Right.
And I think she sells the bows, obviously.
Good for her.
Yeah, like, I just need to know who the team is behind her, because she's like a machine now.
Well, I appreciate the rise of someone digital crossing over into traditional.
Who's a good influence for young women and boys and girls.
Yeah, like, I'm mad respect.
Mad respect. Well, that concludes our Fast Five.
That concludes our Fast Five.
Now we're going to jump into our advice segment, which is called Dear Toasters. As you know, you can always submit to Dear Toasters if you email deartoasters@gmail.com. It is completely anonymous. And we're looking for some interesting stuff, something that makes me say, damn, that's interesting, you know?
An interesting factoid. That's interesting.
We have a follow-up. Should we do a follow-up?
Later.
Okay. This one's titled Long Lost Sisters, and I haven't had the time to read it in advance because we decided like 5 minutes ago we were going to do it. So if it's bad, bear with me. Apologies in advance for the long email. I feel like all the details are important, but feel free to leave anything out if it's too long to share. I was raised by a single mom, and I never met my biological dad. My mom kicked him out when I was an infant, and he never really cared to stick around. He was into drugs at the time, I think. My mom was 19 and he was 20. My mom is a great mom, and I really never wanted anything, and had great male role models like my grandpa, uncles, and eventual stepdad. My mom got married when I was in the 8th grade. My stepdad, that's like so ideal, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, there's no father figure, but like everyone steps up, you know?
Right, and like, she seems great.
Yeah,
she's not gonna, and she has so much, and she's not gonna focus on what she doesn't have.
And she's not complaining, yeah.
Right.
When I was a junior, my stepdad is incredible, and we've always gotten along really well. When I was a junior, that's like Bruce Jenner, when he was like the stepdad to the Kardashians, like he really filled a hole in their life.
For sure, but they had an amazing dad.
Too, but when he passed, I'm saying.
Right, and then they just got like a whole new dad.
Like they never had to feel like that empty like house, like without, like, because Bruce just came and like picked it up right where Robert left off.
Yes.
My stepdad ended up adopting me when I was a freshman in high school, and my biological dad signed away his rights to me. My stepdad is incredible, and we've always gotten along really well. When I was a junior, my biological dad emailed me out of the blue and said he wanted a relationship. We emailed back and forth for a few months, and that year he sent me a birthday present. He kind of eventually disappeared and stopped emailing, and I didn't bother to bug him about maintaining the relationship. That was the only contact I've ever had with him. My biological dad is now married with 2 young daughters, 4 and 6. I'm 26. I found this out through searching on Facebook and finding his wife's page. My mom never had any other kids, so the girls are my only biological sisters. And my stepdad has kids, so I have step-siblings. So my question is, do you think I should reach out to establish a relationship with my dad and hopefully get to know my biological half-sisters? I'm worried they might be too young, and I never really knew my dad, so would I even have anything in common with him? Would the wife be happy or upset if I came back in the picture? I'm really happy with my family, but not sure if I would regret not having a relationship with my biological dad and sisters. Thank you so much for the amazing community you have created. With love, a loyal toaster.
You're welcome.
My inclination is like no.
Well, they're really young, the girls.
Right.
So it's like, but on the one hand, it's like you should wait till they're older because they'll be able to understand you more. But then on the other hand, it's like when they're older, they might have wished. If you come into their lives when they're younger, it's more normal. It's like, oh, this is just our stepsister.
You get to develop like this more like long-term, deep, meaningful relationship. Like I've known them
As
since they were
opposed to
4.
like, I'm sure their dad's not going to tell them about her. So opposed to when you're 15 and you find out you have a long-lost sister, like that's stranger. So if I were her, I would definitely reach out. And then assuming like our toaster seems very cool and very normal. So assuming that the dad and the new wife like are relatively normal, like they will welcome you. And if they're not, then you don't want any part of this anyway. And if they don't want you around or to meet their kids, then like you don't want to be around.
But I feel like if that happens, like then she'll be upset. Whereas like she seems very like happy with the way, like she doesn't have regrets, like she doesn't feel like anything's missing from her life. It seems like she has a full life. So if she does this and on the off chance like it goes very wrong, like then she has like this tumultuous situation where she has a happy life. Like maybe don't disturb the peace if it ain't broke.
For sure, but then it's like when I think about 3 Identical Strangers, obviously has to bring me back to there. When that like Nazi doctor in Palo Alto is saying like, do you even need to know if you have another sibling out there?
Well,
imagine walking around this earth thinking that you don't, and then there are like two people who are 50% of what you are. Like,
right, that's what's freaky, I guess. I don't think of it that way. Like, we have a half brother, and he's just like, I always forget that like we have the same dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like he's like David, you know?
Yeah, but then as we get older, it is cool because it's like
it actually is, and like he is a spitting image of our dad. So like when we saw him at Olivia's wedding, I was like, oh my God, Dad's here. Like, that's true. I feel like when we were kids, we didn't appreciate it.
No, and like he was always like way older than us, and we didn't like live together or anything, so it didn't like affect our childhood. But now, and especially having lost our dad, it really is a nice piece of him.
That's true. You should talk. I agree.
Yeah.
Start the relationship now.
At least say that you tried, because maybe you will have to wait until they're like 16 years old or 18, and then you can say, I tried to reach out and your dad wouldn't let me.
I'm here for it. I agree. You've changed my mind, Jackie.
I love changing hearts and minds.
This is called Sex Addicted Roomie. So my roommate and I do not always get along. We are both in grad school. I'm far more busy than her. Her parents are funding her entire life, so she goes to a few classes a week and then uses her parents' credit.
Are what?
Funding.
I thought you said funny. I was like,
no.
Ooh.
Funding her entire life, so she goes to a few classes a week
comic?
and then uses her parents' credit cards to party the rest of the time. I wasn't overly bothered by her lifestyle until she started bringing home a different guy every other night at 2 a.m. She does not know these guys and feel as if they are starting to put me in danger. On more than one occasion, the guys have been so drunk that they stumbled into my room instead of hers after using the restroom. I tried to bring this up to her last week, but she really did not like what I had to say. Did we do this one already?
No.
Okay. I went away for the weekend last weekend, and when I got back, my bed was made differently. I'm super particular about my bed. I totally understand that. I asked her about it, and she said a friend of hers stayed over and accidentally slept in my bed because she was too drunk. That's weird, but okay. I was a little disturbed because...
No, but it's like, if a friend's staying over and you have the option of like sharing a bed or there's literally a free bed, like, I understand how it got here.
Right.
But continue.
I was a little disturbed by that because she thought of other people sleeping in my bed as a little creepy to me, but I just washed my sheets and forgot about it. Then I found out from a mutual friend that she had sex with one of the randoms in my bed. What's so disturbing about it is that she literally did this to spite me because she could have just done it in her own bed 15 feet away. What do I do? Do I bring it up to her? Oh my God, that's just annoying because she found out from someone else, like, and she, like, you have no proof of it, so she's gonna be like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, and this girl sounds nuts, and honestly, it reminds me of a story of, like, some girls that I was friends with, like, obviously we've grown apart now, but while we were all friends, and there was this one girl who would do stuff, like who would do this, a very similar situation, like, bring back guys, even if she wasn't, like, having sex with them, like, just, like, go out, does one party, then brings people back, and would do that all the time, and then one time, her apartment got robbed.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and so she learned today.
Well,
so first of all, this girl sounds like nuts, but then maybe there's a very small chance that this happened. You know, people are drunk, everything seems like a good idea when you're drunk, and maybe she feels really bad, and so if you bring it up to her, she might apologize and like really feel badly.
she doesn't give me that vibe, but it's possible.
But it's possible because sometimes things do happen like that. Like, so I would bring it up to her, see how she reacts. Based on her reaction, either you stay or you leave.
You can't expect things to change if you never bring it up. But I don't know, as someone who has...
She might have thought she got away with it, and she's like, phew, I'll never
Right.
do it again.
But it seems like this is a pattern.
But based on her reaction, you either stay or you go.
Right, you have to see where she's at.
Give her a chance because she is a friend.
But I just have to say, as someone who's like lived with people, like lived in a dorm, a bed is a sacred place. And I think there is a special place in hell for people who like secretly let you sleep. Like, I'm cool. Like, if you just told me, like, hey, my cousin's coming over, like, can she sleep in your bed? Of course. And then I would just like get home and wash my sheets. But it's the lying that's bothersome.
And then it's like, if I don't know to wash my pillowcase,
I could get lice. No, and I lived in a dorm
the
my
person
freshman
drooled.
year. And
what if they're a drooler?
Exactly. I lived in a dorm freshman year, and it was a long weekend, and I went to NYU, so like I lived 20 blocks uptown, so I just went home. But my roommate was from out of town, so her sister came into town. I'm like, I knew. Of course, it's 2 tiny dorm rooms and 2 girls. Like, they're gonna sleep in my bed, you know? And I never asked, we like weren't friends, but I never asked, and when I got back, like everything was different, and I found a blonde hair on my bar of soap, which is like my sacred Dove bar of soap, you know? And like that's what got to me. Like, I'm understanding, I have sisters, like just tell me. Like, then I had to secretly wash my sheets because I know exactly what you did, you know? It's the lying that's the problem.
Yeah. I don't know, because I've been on both ends of this. And I
It's
agree.
not the crime,
A
it's
bed
the
is a
cover-up.
sacred place. But then I remember in college, like my freshman year, like I was the perpetrator of this crime. It was like someone that I was friends with, who also my roommate was friends with. We were just like hanging out, and they like slept in her bed, and she was really pissed, which I understood. But I I believe I felt really badly and like apologized and
Well, here's the
there like if things happen, so as long, and also it's not like you burned it to the ground, like
Right.
all you have to do is wash your sheets and it's over.
No, the problem is that there are people who it's like, hey, my friend's coming for the weekend, can she sleep in your bed? If they say no, you're a fucking asshole. Like, people who say no and don't want people sleeping in their bed, they're assholes. People who are just upset about the lying, that's understandable.
Right, it's like when there's 2 beds in the room and someone's gonna sleep on the floor when there's
So
an
stupid.
available bed, like
Couldn't agree more. But it's the cover-up, not the crime.
right.
This is called caught on a plane.
But what if you thought you could get away with it? Wouldn't you just?
But you can you can never get away with anything. Like, there's always evidence. And even if the person didn't sleep in my bed, I don't really remember how I made my bed. I'm gonna be paranoid and just think you did it anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well be honest.
Damn.
Okay.
It's nice
is-
living alone.
Totally. No, now I appreciate it. Caught on a plane. I have the biggest pit and I don't know what to do. A couple of weeks ago, I was on a flight from LA going to London. I'm going because my boyfriend and I are in a long distance relationship and I'm attending his brother's wedding. We've been doing this for over 3 years. Damn. London to LA is far. Anyway, we board the plane. I'm sitting on an aisle seat. A cute blonde girl, about early 30s, comes and says she has the window seat in my row. So we get chatting. She tells me that she's meeting her husband in London. She lives in Oregon and he lives in Belgium, but they're meeting there first. They just got married in May in Belgium, and she even shows me her beautiful wedding photos. She has a European marriage visa. She looks gorgeous, and he looks really handsome and in love. He's a 12-year-old kid from a previous relationship, but she seems to have a great relationship with the kid. Anyways, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy, because we had similar relationships, and she knows the same hardships of being in a long-distance relationship, yada, yada, yada. She gives me her card, and it's like, if you have any questions about the visa process, let me know. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. She got a marriage visa to live in Belgium, and this trip was like one move away from her staying there for good. So then, this guy who has the middle seat sits down. He's bald and probably in his late 30s and has a thick accent, and I couldn't distinguish. The flight goes on, and the girl orders a mini champagne bottle. She orders another, and then another, then another, and eventually has ordered 12 fucking mini bottles of champagne throughout the entire 10-hour flight.
10 hours is long.
Yeah.
And 12, that's a glass an hour.
Right. She constantly has to go to the bathroom, which is so annoying.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so annoying. Then our meal comes. For this airline, you have to buy your meal with your ticket. The middleman did not know that. So the window girl says, I'm not going to eat my meal, and offers the man her meal. He's like, thank you so much, and was so grateful. So she's bombed out of her mind at this point. She's constantly going to the bathroom and being really annoying. I'm half asleep watching a movie, and she's like moving weird in her seat. At one point, I see him put his arm around her, but I just thought he was putting his armrest down or something. But no, they were making out. Full tongue, hands in her hair, making out. This was going on literally the entire flight. She then decides it's time to sleep, and she lays down on his lap with her face facing his fucking crotch. He was like stroking her hair and rubbing her back, and I was like, what the fuck? Oh my God, that took a weird turn. It rubbed me the wrong way and made me so mad at her. Like, she showed me her wedding pics, shared with me how hard it was being in a long distance relationship. Now it's all just bullshit. They literally were making out and touching each other for over 6 hours straight. Since she gave me her card, I found pictures. I found her Facebook. It's all pictures of her and her husband, pictures from their wedding. I found his Facebook too. Yes, I guess they could be in an open relationship, but do I message him or even her? Do I let karma run its course? I cannot stop thinking about it. I feel so weird holding this information. Bitch, butt the fuck out. It is not your business.
Just be glad that flight is over.
Just because, like, I know the pit that everyone has is like about her marriage, but like the pit that I have is like this weird ball man taking advantage of an obviously like inebriated woman.
Right. Yeah, definitely don't message her husband. You don't know like what goes on in people's homes, and like this is so not your problem. The only torch is like while you're sitting there, and like
right, but
that's
it's over.
Disgusting. Like plain breath. Ew.
Ew.
So it's over. And this is something that comes up like in the TIA often. Like if someone you know is
information,
cheating, like, do you message the wife? And like I always go back and forth, and I think it really always does depend on the situation. And in a situation like this, do not.
Right, like you have no stake in this game. You don't know this girl personally. Like you met her on a plane.
And you also don't know him or their relationship. So this could very well like be a normal thing. And honestly, like yes, even though people get drunk and things happen, like you don't just get drunk and start making out with your plain neighbor.
I would literally
especially like didn't she say he was like gross?
Yeah. And she said the girl was cute, like the blonde girl. No.
So like,
well, thank you for opening up to us. If you guys have anything you want answered, email deartoasters@gmail.com, and we will do it next week if we can remember. This has been the Morning Toast. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, because we're promptly ending at 11:30. Anything else I want to add? Just per usual, follow Pup With No Job and Tiffany Thornton and me while you're at it. Premium content all the way.
Have an amazing weekend. If you're doing Dry January, good luck. This is the first real test, and I know I'm going to fail because I already have plans tomorrow. And if you're not doing Dry January, have a great fucking weekend. Party it up. Black out. Do what you got to do. Blacking out is God's way of saying forget about it. See ya.